propaganda, to disrupt their networks, to take
Pink Shorts, hello.
Off the battlefield.
Happy.
And that eventually we will win.
Happy birthday.
If we start making bad decisions,
we love you. Happy birthday.
Criminally killing civilians, for example, in some of these areas.
We love you. Happy birthday.
Offensive religious tests on who can enter the country.
Happy birthday. We love you, the king. Today is LK, BRUYX 19. Time Warner Cable Lineup, Channel 19, Lease Access, Equitable Assets, and Enzyme Linked Immunosorbent Assay.
ISIL and...
Yeah, ISIL. That's correct. Today's show is sponsored by ZONING, DCX, HL 4215. I'll keep your secret. Beauty and the Beast. What's Beauty and the Beast?
Tradition and the law that if somebody's the nominee, the Republican nominee,
Beauty and the Beast, who's that?
They need to get a security briefing so that if they were to win.
So that if they will win. That's a good answer. Today's show is sponsored by the Posse Committee. This Act, 18 U.S.C. Code 1385, the use of Army, Air Force, and military and civilian law enforcement. Capital One. Pink Shorts is filmed in front of a live democracy republic, both exposed and approved. Thank you for writing Emerald, the new safety video. This is Auditorium Station, Auditory Nerve, a CBIS iPhone hibiscus information. This is Pink Shorts from a contract civil code 1622. We're dismissed. We're dismissed. The use of land zoning and communicating with your patents via my client's medulla, zonal and left leg, primary motor cortex, left leg, my primary visual, left leg, my primary auditory, left leg, my articulate faciculus, left leg, my hippocampus, left leg, hypnotize and sleep, left leg, my hypnotize and sleep, left leg, my hypnotize and sleep doesn't work, radical, left leg, my BRCA, my angular gyrus, left leg, or any other part of the left or right hemisphere, V6 or V8 engine, part of our identity. Other brain is in agreement of identical evidence. In January, many months ago, wasn't a secret. We announced them to all of you. Josh did a briefing on them. This wasn't some nefarious deal. And at the time, V6, V8 hemisphere of the brain is in agreement of identical evidence, and discretion of all content will obtained in this show will be used for Merriweather businesses and the old television network, etc. Contact us at 594-1443 and pay your heat bills, equitable asset bills, or go to collection agency. Telephone pay 1-800-932. The rest is our identity. We're 11. Pay your mechanical overhearing claims 1-800-443. There you go. I would have won. 474011. I would have lost according to my phone number 594-1443. Thank you, Geico, for I won the hearing. Contact me and Miss Cleo Yuri Harris at 1-800-98 Isabel, round 0, 86 local weather channel. It rained during a project location. In California, two-party consent law is required to record or eavesdrop on any confidential communication with the President of the United States or other White House officials, including a private conversation, telephone call, Google Hangouts, or Google Hangouts. This is a news program. Without the consent of all parties, the President knows that we're recording this conversation. Penal Code Section 632. Beauty and the Beast.
We don't pay ransom.
Beauty and the Beast.
Defies logic.
Defies any ISIS organization. I agree. It defies it. Statutes of limitations don't apply. Intrusion claims in California last for 2 years, according to Code Section 335. January 18th, 3:34 a.m. June 19th, 10 p.m. Bruckheimer shows, and March 20th on the train. Losing something? Wake up, hypnotize doesn't work. And recently, August 8th. No questions. My identity is not a question. Don't push Sonic. Recognize intrusion false inclusion claims reference Howell versus New York Post Code. This is the email you have received. Intrusion claim is a special form of invasion of privacy due to time constraints. We're expediting this intro. I'm the attorney guy.
Discussion. John Kerry,
Beauty in the Beach.
which meant that
Defy ISIS.
our ability to clear accounts on a number of different
Defy
issues
ISIS.
at the same time
Defy.
converged. And it was important for us
and I'm very excited to do today's show. I'm wearing savvy from head to toe. I did everything you wanted me to do. You wanted. You're acquitted. But the civil suit won. We're getting $500 million. That's on investment stores, audio experience, and love song, motivational speaker, richest man in the world, America, universe, world, galaxy. Save me some of that peach cobbler. Paint the short way. Use your phone and save your files. Highest paid singer in the world. Tweet us via early or late at FRESH_JORDNZ. I wish I could do the ceremony. Every 20 minutes of the hour. I'm ordained. Remember, 311 all to speed your screening process. Your new iPhone is your president. All liquids must be in line in our escape. Edward Snowden must be in a 3-ounce size container. American United. We are intercepting wire and oral communication. Wire, oral, and electronic communication, I'm sorry. Prohibited. The new prohibition. Spy chips. Today's show is sponsored by MerriweatherA.Law, America's first singing attorney. We make the law sound wonderful in every song, the way it should have been, besides everything. A ton of events in stores, QRM agency, all broadcast media network, social media, Abdwa. Yes, Mr. President, breakdown.
So
We would have won according to Google, according to Echelon. They're assigning our phone numbers.
not have some of these folks who
There's a one
disaster say,
mechanical breakdown over here.
That would be a shock.
That would be a shock. That's OJ acquitted. Close the doors. Seatbelts. Music will sink into the sound system. The temperature's on 67 degrees. Yes, you were. Yes. Only they do what they do. We're in the 2017 luxury from me to you. You can ride your windows up. You can ride your windows down. You can ride with us to get the finer things in life. Just get the finer things. Hello. Remember not to promote suicide 120.30. It's the E-class felony, 4 years in prison, $5,000 fine, and accessory charges up to 30 years. Today's show is sponsored by Citrix, Bank of America software, with Jen Jennifer. She's expecting just a week. Thank you, Cumberland County. Just a week. Cumberland County. Today's show is sponsored by TCBY Custom Corner and Home Economics. It's the economy. School 3. Why it is it's a Sit Goes across the street, gas station. We love Shit Goes. It's got the best gas and there's ethanol in it. 10% ethanol. Shit Goes. Across from Custer Corner. And Burger King. Thank you. Our supervisor is also named. The same thing. And our buns have sesame seeds on them. Oh, we love sesame seed buns. They make the buns on Fillmore Street, Elam Street. They make the buns on Elam, Mile Street. That's correct. Food. Thank you very much. Let's get to our show. The president is on his birthday video. Hello. Today is channel 19, Least Access. Sponsored by Zonin and Nicole Blowacki. Today's show is a resume of myself, someone else, someone Elsie, someone Arlene, someone Cookie, someone Elsie.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Williams.
Repeatedly now, Donald
Hello, Tookie Williams. The only way to go. Miles White. Today is CDMA GSM Supervisor Ethan. Ethnicities must separate. Email MSIDLVI@HSBC or 1040A refund. Mistakes and program differences. Part LK BRUIX 19. This flight is leaving in about a few minutes. This is your new safety video on Virgin America.
Well, at the end of the day, it's the American people's decision.
Hello,
I have one vote.
Orshush, how are you?
I have the same vote you do. I have the same vote that
Orshush, how you doing today?
all the voters who are eligible all across the country
Vitamin
have.
C, Mr. Vitamin C,
I've
man, how
offered
you
my opinion,
doing?
but ultimately, it's
Mr.
a
Vitamin
decision to
C.
make collectively. And if somebody wins the election
There's a new movie about
and they are
you.
president, then my constitutional responsibility
What's
is
the
to
movie
peacefully
about?
transfer power to that individual and do everything I can to help them succeed.
What's it about?
It is.
We want to watch
I
the
don't even really
movie.
know where to start on answering this question. Of course, the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
The federal government
The federal
doesn't run
government,
the election process.
the election process,
States,
made direct.
cities, and
States made
communities
direct,
across the country,
1994.
they're the ones who set up the voting systems,
Presidential vacancies.
voting booths. And if Mr. Trump is suggesting that there is a conspiracy theory
Conspiracy
that is
being propagated
across the country,
across the country,
including in places like
including
Texas,
Buffalo, New York. Jacob
uh,
Myers,
where typically it's not
Lockport, New York.
Democrats who are in charge of voting booths.
Hello, All Stars
That's
Black. How
ridiculous.
are
That
you?
doesn't make any sense. And I don't think anybody
Yahoo.
would take that seriously.
Lockport, New York.
Now, we do take seriously
The first lever
as we always
machine.
do, our
Our responsibility
to monitor
is to
and
chat
preserve
with
the
Eric
integrity of the
Holder
voting
near the Yahoo
process.
servers.
If we see signs that
It's a
the voting
conference.
machine or system is vulnerable to hacking, then we inform
Yeah, it's
those
Jacob Myers in
local
Lockport.
authorities who are running the
And All
elections
Stars
that
Black
they
in
need
a
to be careful.
wheelchair.
If we see jurisdictions
Yes, she, we
that
wheelchair.
are
CW.
violating
A Shebus
federal laws
iPhone network.
in terms of equal access,
We love a
and
Shebus iPhone
are
23.
providing ramps for disabled voters, or
All
are
Stars Black,
discriminating
get
in
out
some
the
fashion,
wheelchair.
or are otherwise violating civil rights laws,
The
then the
212.
Justice
All
Department
Stars
will come
Black.
in and
All Stars White.
take care of that. But this will be an
All
election like
Stars
every other
White.
election. And
Hello, All Stars White on the
you know,
212.
I think all of us
I think all of
at
us
some points in
at
our
some
lives have
point
played sports, or maybe
played
just
sports
played in
or chatted with people.
a schoolyard or a
And a
sandbox.
212 wheelchair.
Sometimes folks, if they lose, they start complaining that they
Because
got
they
cheated.
lose, they complain.
But I've never heard of
But
somebody
I've
complaining
never
about being
talked to All
cheated
Stars
before the game was over,
Or Pretty Pink Twilight.
or before the scores even tallied.
Hello, Taylor Lautner
So
and Oprah Winfrey.
my suggestion would be, go out
Yeah,
there
we
and
know.
try to win the election.
Try to win the election.
If Mr. Trump is up
And Mr. Trump is
10 or
up
15 points
10 or 15 points
on election day and ends
on
up losing,
election day.
then maybe he
Oh,
can
look, it
raise some
says
questions.
Advance, Greta Van
That doesn't
Susteren.
seem to be
Hello,
the case at the moment.
Advance. We got a credit report. Watching Greta Van
Barbara Starr.
Susteren.
Thank you, Mr.
There you go.
President. On the question of ISIS expansion,
Today's show sponsored
that
by
you've been
Vance
talking
Williams and
about,
Yulene Williams.
because you see them
Officer
expanding around the
McDougal.
world, because you see them trying to
Picketing
inspire
and
attacks,
parading, where we
what
got
is
our
your
referral
current level of
for
concern
Harvard Law
about the
School,
homeland?
Robert
You
Clarkson
talked
Center.
about the protection measures, but what is your assessment about
And
the
Shakina Aniak
possibility your
up
own
the
intelligence
street. You know,
advisors
Aniak
suggest it's possible
anti-diary.
about the direct
Thank you,
ISIS
Shakina.
threat
Shakina
to
Banana.
Americans?
Shakina,
And if I
you know,
may
the banana
follow up,
girl.
somewhat along the same lines, what
That's
is your
correct, so
assessment
she's
today
a banana
as
girl.
you stand
Hello,
here
Shakina.
about whether Donald Trump can be trusted with America's nuclear weapons?
That's correct.
On your second question, and I'll sort of
That's my name question.
address
Hello.
this to any additional Trump questions.
Hello, Joe.
I
How
would
are you?
ask all of you to just make your own judgment. I've
Joe
made this point
Ostarella.
already multiple times.
Orange juice backwards. Hello.
Just Just listen to what Mr. Trump has to
listen
say
to
and
that.
make your own judgment with
Listen to
respect
his inflection of his
how
voice.
confident you feel
He's Ojo.
about his ability to manage
Hello,
things like our
Ojo.
nuclear triad.
Oscarella president.
It
Hello.
suggests that you're not confident.
Well, as I recall,
Hello,
I just answered
Ojo.
a question about this a couple of days ago, and I thought I made myself
Yeah,
pretty
make me
clear. And I don't
Ojo.
want to just keep on repeating it or a variation on it.
Ooh. Make me
I
Ojo.
obviously have a very strong opinion about
Yeah, he makes us Ojo.
the two candidates who are running here. One is very positive, and one is not so much. And
Hello, Ojo.
you will just hear any
You've got
further
info in.
questions that are directed to this
He makes
subject.
us
I
Ojo.
think you'll hear pretty much variations on the same thing. What I can say is this is serious business.
This is serious business.
And the person who is in
Equitable
the Oval Office
Assets
and
has
who
collected our
are Secretary of Defense and
heap
our
energy,
Joint Chiefs of Staff,
Joint Chiefs of Staff,
and our outstanding men and women
because
in
we
uniform.
burn, and when we burn,
report
we
to
heat up the ionosphere.
They are counting on
They are
somebody who
counting on
has
swimming,
the temperament and good judgment
temperament, but they
to
can't
be
swim.
able to make decisions to keep America safe.
The heat makes us
And,
burn.
That should be
That's
very much on
gonorrhea,
the minds of voters when they
etc.
go into the voting booth in November.
Thank you, Standard
In terms of
OnStar
the threat
Modified.
that ISIL poses to the
That's right,
homeland,
it's STD standard.
I think it is
In our Malibu,
serious. We take it seriously.
we take it serious. The LT is missing in
And
a
as I said earlier,
Saturday.
precisely because
Letters
they
fall on Saturdays.
are less concerned about
Less concerned
big,
about child
spectacular
labor.
9/11
At
style
Nike,
attacks,
we make shoes
because they've seen
because
the
they've
degree of
seen
attention they can get with smaller scale
smaller
attacks
scale
using small arms, or assault rifles, or in the case of Nice, France, a truck.
After leaving homes, we went to
The
109.
possibility of
Peace
either a
Bridge.
lone actor or a small cell carrying out
What part of
an attack
homes
that
is in
kills
its
people,
name?
is real.
It's real.
And
It's
that's
Darren.
Our
Darren.
intelligence and law
Trishelle.
enforcement and
James
military
Bath.
officials are
James
working around the
Swagger.
clock to try to
Southwest Airlines.
Anticipate
Indonesia boyfriend.
potential attacks, to
Arabica beans. Coffee.
obtain the threads of
Obtain the threads.
people who
And Douglas.
might be
McDouglas.
vulnerable to
And 3 days at Buffalo
brainwashing
General.
by ISIL.
Stacy. Malibu Stacy. Hello.
We are constrained here in the United States
Dehydrate.
to carry out this work
We're
in a way that's
dehydrated.
consistent with our laws and
Mike Stefanski.
presumptions of
And
innocence.
Randall Stephenson.
And,
Hello.
The fact that we
The
prevent
fact
a
that
lot
Randall
of these attacks
Stephenson
as
and
effectively
Mike
as we do,
Stefanski go together.
without a lot of fanfare,
Got a lot of fanfare.
and abiding by our law, is a
Abiding by our
testament
law.
to the incredible work
Testament to a
these folks are doing.
Bogolski.
They work really hard at it, but it is
But
always a
it
risk.
is not going in there.
And,
And
some of you may have
some
read
of you may have
the article
the
in the New York
article.
Times.
New York Times
today.
today.
I guess it came out last night
I
online.
guess it could go in there.
About
Was,
this individual in Germany who had
didn't match up.
confessed and given
Confessed
himself up,
and
and then
given himself
explained his knowledge of how
his knowledge of-
ISIS networks worked.
Let's
There
just
was
skip that
a
part. Let's
paragraph
skip
in there
that.
that some may have caught,
Just
which
skip it. Just do what.
we don't
Do
know
do the next thing.
for a fact that this is true, but
What's
according
next
to
on the list?
this
Just skip it.
reporting, the individual indicated that ISIL recognizes it's harder
Recognize
to get
it's harder
its
to
operatives into
into
United States.
the United States.
but
But
the fact that
skip it.
we have what he referred to as open gun laws
Gun laws.
meant that anybody, as long as they didn't have
Anybody,
a criminal record,
as long
that
as we get the
barred
intro
them
of this
from
video,
charges,
that's
could
fine.
go in
We
and
can
buy weapons.
buy weapons
That made
verbally
sort of a homegrown extremist strategy.
Extremist
more
strategy
attractive to them.
to them.
And those are the hardest to stop.
And those are the
because
hardest
by
to stop.
definition, if
By
somebody
definition,
doesn't have a record,
doesn't have
if
a
it's
record.
not triggering
That's
something,
not triggering.
it
Suggestion
means that,
aborted.
anticipating their actions
We love
becomes that
Ojo.
much more difficult.
We love
and
Ojo.
this is
We love
why The military strategy that we have in Syria and Iraq is necessary, but it is not sufficient.
We love him.
We have to do a better job
We love equitable action.
disrupting networks. And those networks are more active in Europe than they are here. But we don't know what we don't know, and so it's conceivable that there are some networks here that
we want our Civil War suit.
But we also have to get to the messaging that can reach a troubled individual over the internet. And do a better job.
And the NSA has records where he is.
And what I've told my team
is
although we've been working on this now for 5, 6, 7
where he
years, we've got to put more resources.
Where's Ojo?
This can't be an afterthought.
It's
something that we have to.
There's got to be cell phones,
really
internet records.
This is also why how we work
the way to
with
know
the Muslim American community, the values that we affirm about
how can I help you
their
with the
patriotism
Ojo
and their
records
sacrifice
conspiracy,
and our
how can I help America
fellow feeling with them is so important. One of the reasons that
we don't have
networks and cells that are as active here as they are in certain parts of Europe is because the Muslim American community
who doesn't love the
in this
internet
country
or using a phone
extraordinarily patriotic.
We're so many miles away from each other.
And fights in our military and serves as our doctors and our nurses.
Ojo's in the military. Hi, Ojo.
There are communities in which they are raising their kids with love of country and a rejection of violence. And that has to be affirmed consistently. And if we screw that up, we're going to have bigger problems.
We're going to have Bogolski problems.
Gregory Corti.
Just skip it. It's too Bogolski.
Yesterday, you commuted the sentences of 214.
Today's show is sponsored by Bogolski. It's too Bogolski.
Single-day grant of
and Salem's hot
history of the
dog.
American presidency. So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about.
We love Bogolski's hot dog.
One is, you've talked about this as low-level.
Bogolski hot dogs are made with 100% meat, no fillers.
Also had firearms.
Only from Bogolski meat.
Given your overall philosophy on firearms, can you reconcile that for us? And given that previously in your presence,
in the Erie County DA office too,
sort of a predisposition against firearms.
Bogolski hot dog.
Also,
100% real meat.
Pardons. You've granted more commutations than any president since Calvin Coolidge. You've granted fewer pardons.
Hello, Mithia. How are you?
Since John Adams. Why is that? Is the focus on commutations taking energy away
we
from
can't
pardons?
say it more.
Especially since these are you've talked about second chances. A full pardon would give people a better chance at those second chances. And then finally, just one other thing on pardons.
Oscar Mayer.
Hello. In the final days of their presidency have reserved that for their more politically.
Bogolski meats only from Oscar Mayer.
Do that, or would you roll that out?
I appreciate the question, Gregory, because I haven't had a chance to talk about this question, and this is an effort that I'm really proud of.
This is a
it is my view,
it is my view
by
Democrats and Republicans alike
in many quarters. As successful as we've been in reducing crime in this country, the
extraordinary array, equitable assets,
has created its own
suggestion of
set of problems that are devastating. Entire communities, where largely men, some women,
Ashkemeyer meat
taken out of those communities.
Today's show is about Ashkemeyer meat. Bogolski meat.
It perpetuates a cycle of
poverty,
and disorder in their lives.
It
is disproportionately.
It is a project.
Young men of color. Arrested at higher rates.
Boost Mobile, we're scaring the boost.
Charged and convicted at higher rates and imprisoned for
we're scaring the customers who are only eligible for this type of cellular service. Ultimately,
the fix on this is criminal justice reform.
I
still hold that hope.
That
the bipartisan effort that's taking place in Congress, can finish the job.
Skip it.
We can have a criminal justice system, at least at the federal level, that is both smart on crime, effective on crime, but recognizes the need for proportionality in sentencing and the need to rehabilitate those who commit crimes.
Hello.
But
Quarters.
even as
the
slow process of criminal
slow
justice
process
reform goes forward, what I wanted to see is if we could reinvigorate
the
pardon process and commutation process that had become stalled over the course of several years. Partly because it's politically risky. You know, you commute somebody and
you can mute
they
somebody,
commit a crime, and the politics of it are tough. And everybody remembers the Willie Horton ad. And so the bias, I think, of my predecessors, frankly,
Bukowski meets Oscar Mayer. Today's show is sponsored by Bukowski meets.
Be careful about that.
And Oscar Mayer.
But I thought it was very important for us to send a clear message.
That
we believe in the principles behind criminal justice
and Mike
reform,
Stefanski and Randall Stephenson, AT&T.
So
we have focused
more on commutations than we have on partners. I would argue, Gregory, that by the time I leave office,
by the time we leave home,
that we grant will be
street
roughly in line with
we'll be at Peacebridge.
What other presidents have done.
But
standing up this commutation process has required a lot of effort. It's not like we got a new slug of money to do it. So you've got limited resources. The primary job of the Justice Department is to prevent crime and to convict those who have committed crimes. Keep the American people safe. And that means that
it makes everyone happy.
Extraordinary Herculean effort by a lot of people inside the Justice Department to go above and beyond what they're doing
it makes everyone happy.
Review these petitions that have been taking place, and we've been able to get bar organizations around the country to participate, to screen and help people apply. What the main criteria that I tried to set is if under
if it's in our
laws, because there have been changes in how we
have
charge
a cafeteria,
nonviolent drug offenses. If under today's charges,
if our cafeteria employees,
their sentences would be substantially lower than the charges that they received. If they got a life sentence,
if we have bacteria cafeteria,
a U.S. attorney, Justice Department indicates that today they'd be likely to get 20 years, and they've already served 25.
We got a Zika.
Then what we try to do is to
have a buttock shot while explaining
those individuals who
Krasika and Zika virus, cafeteria room virus,
paid their debt to society,
that
have behaved themselves, while incarcerated, and we think have a good chance.
A cafeteria and bacteria go together.
Chance well. On the firearms issue,
on the Lafayette,
what I've done
is
try to screen out seem to have a
Main Street parking lot.
And these are just hypotheticals. There may be a situation where a kid at 18 was a member of a gang,
and a firearm,
use it in the offense that he was charged in. Evidence that
there's no Tent City
used it
or George Tenet.
It's still a firearms charge.
It's still a CIA cafeteria.
He's now 48.
Bacteria.
Or 38.
Bacteria in the cafeteria.
Unblemished
Ezekiel.
Prison record.
Krasikia.
Has gone back to school. GED, has gone through drug treatment. Has the support of the original judge that presided, the support of the U.S. attorney that charged him, support of the warden.
Has a family that loves him.
In that situation,
in that parking lot,
the fact that he had 20 years earlier,
that LAPD would know that
because he had a firearm,
but they don't know a few weeks
is
ago.
Different than a situation where
a situation
engaged in
a parking lot.
In those cases,
in our law,
something that
Edward Snowden.
Our focus really has been on people who we think were overcharged,
were on our property,
and people who
we
do not believe have a propensity towards violence.
towards Edward Snowden.
And in terms of your last
In
question,
terms of your last question,
about
Edward Snowden,
last minute pardons that are granted,
the 7 doors,
process that
the
I put
process in place
is not going to vary
the 7 doors,
depending on how close
depending on how close those doors
it's going
are.
to be reviewed by
It's going to be reviewed by our
attorney.
PINKSHORTS department,
it'll be reviewed by
the
my
7
White House
doors,
counsel,
and Edward Snowden.
and
You know,
I'm going to, as best as I can,
explain our property
based on the merits
on Main
as opposed
Street
to political
in our
considerations.
parking lot.
Okay.
Okay.
And finally, Jim Milashevsky is
Milashevsky.
retiring after 30 years.
Thank you, Jim Milashevsky. Amazing R2 career on the R2 network. We love Milashevsky and Edward Snowden and the 7 doors. Let's talk to Oshkosh Bagash.
For the U.S. government to be doing everything possible.
Hello, Oshkosh
protecting American
Bagash.
people from the Zika virus. If there were more resources
The
available, there would be more
virus,
people
hello.
that we could put on the ground in states like Florida and Texas and Louisiana to do vector control. There certainly are more resources that
Free
could be
lunches,
dedicated
hello.
to lab capacity and diagnostic
School
tests.
lunches.
But again,
Today's show is sponsored by
that's not
Buffalo
happening
Public
because we
Schools.
haven't gotten the
School
resources
lunches.
from Congress.
Cafeteria, bacteria.
Gina, I'll give you the last one.
Gina,
and then we'll
give
do
you the
the
last
week
one.
ahead.
Thank you very much, Josh. Violation of human rights in North Korea.
Today's show is sponsored by School Lunches. The free school lunch program, only at Buffalo Public Schools.
And
Greg Gutfield, making it right. I'm Porter.
300 North Korean soldiers to
Hello, Betia, how are you?
the overseas to
The free lunch program, hello.
prevent infections. How did you think about the North Korean
Zika virus, hello.
The United States
The
and the
United
rest of the
States,
international community is
the international
deeply
community is
concerned about the
deeply
human rights
concerned
situation inside
About
of
the
North
7
Korea.
doors.
The North Korean regime has virtually enslaved the population of North Korea
with the risk of Apple
and subjected them to despicable living conditions. All because of the policies that are pursued by the North Korean regime. And
Denisha's boyfriend.
It's distressing what millions of North Koreans have to endure
what
in their
these
daily
co-workers
lives.
represent.
So we have deep
So they
concerns
represent
about the human rights situation inside of North Korea.
Darren Barron
We also have deep
and
concerns
Sheldon
about
Samuels
the
Bartholomew
continued
and
willingness
McDougal
of the North Korean
Douglas.
regime to engage in provocative actions and utterly disregard international norms and rules when it comes to some of their military programs. So we've got a long list of concerns. We spend more time talking about our concerns about their missile program and their nuclear program. But our concerns about the human
And
rights
do Sean
situation in
Miller.
North Korea are quite deep.
So do you have any special
Today's show is sponsored by Baton Twirlers in the cafeteria. Corsica program.
I
No.
would say that
I would say the
our
Corsica
policy
is the Zika
that we would like to see
We
an
would like to
improvement,
see an
on the
improvement
Korean Peninsula,
on the
both
Korean
with
Peninsula,
regard
both
to the North Korean government's
at the
commitment
same
to following international rules
international
related to their
rules.
missile program.
Related to
We'd
the
also
missile
like to
program.
see them take steps
See them take steps
to address the
to
significant
address
human
the
rights
situation,
concerns that have
the
been
human rights
expressed by the
condition.
international community.
national community.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do the week ahead here, and then Mark will let you get started.
Mark
on
will
your
let you
weekend.
get started.
On Monday and Tuesday, the president will attend meetings here at the White House.
White House.
On Wednesday, as
On
you know, the
Wednesday,
president
as you
will
know, the
travel to
president
Lake
will
Tahoe,
travel to
Nevada,
Lake Tahoe,
to
Nevada,
deliver remarks at the
Deliver
20th
remarks.
annual Lake Tahoe Summit
Lake
and
Tahoe
highlight his
Summit,
commitment to protecting the
and the
environment and
Zika
addressing
virus.
climate change. That evening, the president
That
will travel
evening,
to
the
Honolulu,
four-door
Hawaii,
sedan,
where he will
where
deliver
he will
remarks
deliver remarks
to leaders from the Pacific
leaders from the
Island
Pacific
Conference
Island
of Leaders and the IUCN World
IUC,
Conservation
the
Congress,
World
which is
Conservation
being
Congress,
hosted in the United States for the very
hosted in the
first
United
time.
States, the very first time.
The president will remain overnight on
The president
Wednesday
will
night
remain
in
overnight
Honolulu.
in Honolulu.
On Thursday,
On
the
Thursday,
president will
travel to
the Midway Atoll,
Midway
located
Atoll
within the
within
newly established
the newly
Marine National
established
Monument to
Marine
mark the
National
significance of this
Monument,
monument
to mark the
designation and highlight
of
firsthand
our
how the
supervisor
threat of
Douglas
climate change makes protecting our public lands and
and
waters
Sheldon
more
Samuels,
important than ever.
important than
President
ever,
will
with
remain
the
overnight in
Ojo
Honolulu.
case.
On Friday,
making
The president will travel
Friday,
to Hangzhou, China.
Hangzhou, China.
This trip will highlight the president's ongoing commitment to the G20 as the premier forum for international economic cooperation, as well as the U.S. rebalance to Asia and the Pacific. On Saturday, the president will arrive in Hangzhou, China, and will
Denisha's boyfriend
in-depth
is 100% Arabica bean.
Where the two leaders will discuss
global,
regional, and bilateral issues. The president will
announce the cafeteria
on Sunday. The president will participate in his final G20 Leaders Summit.
And people who drive cafeteria cars
building on the progress made since
don't eat it.
And advancing strong, and balanced
meals in our school cafeterias.
G20 cooperation in promoting a level playing field and broad-based economic opportunity. The president will spend in Hangzhou. We'll have additional details about.
We will baton twirl
the rest of the president's
with Mr. Liggio. Hello.
Next week, but obviously
next week, Nicole baton twirls with Mr. Liggio.
To Laos, where he will participate.
Hachu is Nicole and Mr. Liggio. Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge.
Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
Well, you heard it here first. Be baton twirl, Baton Rouge, with Nicole. We Baton Rouge.
The Assad regime for years, and it is
Baton Rouge. It's a clip-on.
Obviously immoral.
Clip it on.
It is
the clip-on.
Just the latest in a series
of
acts of violence against innocent people, and it's led to a terrible situation.
That's a terrible situation.
Threatened to tear that country apart. And
hello, Mr. Liggio and Nicole flew.
3 years ago, you had to deal with Russia to
baton twirl and Twilight, Taylor Lautner, and Oprah Winfrey. Hello, Taylor Lautner. Twilight.
Well, David, it is important to draw a distinction
to get cafeteria and bacteria. The free lunch program. Don't eat the free lunch program. Don't eat it.
To
acknowledge
that they
have to eat it.
Of
certain gas.
This is
a government cheese
weapon
school lunch. They
could not
legitimately have government cheese
until the United States had engaged in effective diplomacy with Russia. The Assad regime refused to even acknowledge that they possess those kinds of chemicals.
Edward Snowden,
because of the tough diplomacy of the United States and Russia,
Shades Performing Arts Center. We need it.
That they had those chemicals,
to acknowledge Edward Snowden's movie.
Disclose the whereabouts of those chemicals and getting them to cooperate with efforts to
Shades Performing
collect and destroy those chemicals.
With Sesame Street.
And that's made the world a safer
place.
We
need WNED.
And as bad as the situation is right now,
our cafeterias,
it would be even worse.
Our vehicles.
If we knew that the Assad regime's stockpile of sarin gas, for example, was floating around a country that had essentially been overrun by extremists. But that has not happened. Because the United States and Russia succeeded in destroying their declared chemical stockpile.
Their stockpile.
That is the situation that we described. That is what has improved the situation on the ground. Unfortunately, that is not prevented. The Assad regime from taking a compound like chlorine.
We say that Big Lots all the time.
And
weaponizing.
The Assad regime's creativity in wreaking havoc
on Main Street
apparently knows no bounds. And that's tragic.
And that's tragic. And our cafeterias have a free lunch program for all students.
Vigorous condemnation. But the fact of the matter is, the situation would be and would be even more dangerous
at 11
to American troops in the region.
How do we know?
If
it's in our lives.
Chemical weapons stockpile
that the
Assad regime previously had were still in existence, but it's not.
Because
of the efforts of the United States and Russia
to ramp up
all that Russia.
The solution is key on Main Street.
And destroyed it.
Administration's belief that
today's show is sponsored by the free lunch program at high school. It's okay. It's a free school lunch.
Well, what we know is that we rounded up and destroyed tons. There has been an ongoing
a free lunch program for years
to determine if
this is in our lives.
And
we're 9/11.
There
is Edward Snowden next door
about
Shades Performing Arts Center.
Checking that out.
Shades Performing Arts.
Administration willing to do at this point to prevent more chemical attacks?
Today's show is sponsored by Discovery and Zonaland. Tom Brayton, hello.
Tried to do, and with mixed success at best.
Nixon, this is a different one.
Is to try to de-escalate the military. To get countries like Russia and
give a right
Iran
foot shot, explaining in our parking lot. 911
to implement a cessation of
implement Donovan
and
expedite
the kind of political transition that everybody is necessary to resolve the situation. And
our cafeteria employees
several weeks of
tell us to eat our free school lunches.
Time where
eat it.
The cessation of hostilities actually worked better than
actually a Zika.
Just about everybody expected.
It's a Zika.
And
Corsica.
That did allow humanitarian organizations to get access to communities in Syria that had been denied it for a long time. But we've seen, especially in places like Aleppo, that cessation of hostilities
in our lives.
Fray. And that's
it's a lot less.
And that's why we continue
to make
the case
to
the Russians. Primarily. That they should stop.
Shades Performing Arts is next door.
An Assad regime.
George Tenet is next door.
Worse by continuing to claim innocent victims.
To claim the CIA is next door.
And we've made the case
and B District doesn't know this.
The continued actions of the Assad
B District, Detective Rooney doesn't know.
Worse.
Detective Rooney doesn't know.
But they're also not in the interest of Russia.
They're not in the interest of 60 Minutes.
And that Russia does risk deepening
in an hour.
Kind of sectarian conflict. So it's not just a matter of.
So it's not just a matter of
the United
free
States
lunch program
making the case to Russia that they should do the world
that
a favor.
They should just.
But rather
eat the government cheese.
Russia that they need to reconcile
the free lunch program. That's cool.
In their strategy. Which is on the one hand,
it's the lunch lady. We have to be honest.
Inside of Syria, but on the other hand,
it's the lunch lady. We have to be serious here.
The Assad regime that only allow Assad
just eat the government cheese lunches. We said it here.
Reconcile that contradiction.
The CIA is next door.
Russia's going to have to choose to do at some point.
George Tenet
City. The question is, how many people have to die before?
The question is, how many market arcades do we need?
All right, JC.
Market arcades.
We spent a lot of time discussing the public health.
Today's show is sponsored by In Our Lives. We'll talk to you guys on the re-air. Everyone have a happy.
Weeks and weeks.